So last week I was with my friend from China, and she wished me a happy Lunar New Year. So I thanked her, and I wish her a happy Lunar New Year back. And then my friend Duncan, who was also there, said, "Wait a sec, Ben. You don't even celebrate it." And that got me thinking, did I celebrate? Should I celebrate? What's the role of Lunar New Year in the lives of Asian adoptees with white parents?
I was there for the wonton soup.
So I felt like almost sort of an imposter, I guess. And like, what am I doing?
Was wearing like a pink peepow and a rice farmer hat.
At some point it'd be great to actually have, I want to say like a dumpling making celebration.
Do you want to do a transition through my hat?
Oh, okay, ready? Hello. I happen to live with a few Chinese adoptees, so now I'm gonna go ask one of them.
Are you filming me right now?
Yes.
Oh, whoops.
No, it's okay. This is real. This is what they want.
Okay.
It's good to be back on the channel again.
We are here in rock climbing, and guess who I am with? That is Ruby. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. I'm screen recording right now.
Okay.
So this is my friend Flora. We've known each other for a long time, and my first question to you is, did you celebrate Lunar New Year growing up?
I did not celebrate Lunar New Year.
My family doesn't really have any traditions. I think
Oh,
maybe
interesting.
we have gotten food in the past, but nothing more than that.
We hosted one Lunar New Year party, and I kind of remember it, and I know the pictures because I was wearing like a pink peepow and a rice farmer hat.
When I was really young, my family would sometimes celebrate Lunar New Year with people from the organization that helped adopt me. Yes, I did celebrate growing up. I think the best part of it was the red envelopes. I would get money in that, which is pretty cool.
Yep,
Every
amazing.
year growing up.
There's actually this restaurant in Manhattan called Friendly. Yeah, it was definitely something that I look forward to every year because I love Chinese food and the food was always amazing.
I mean, you get a lot of good food. You get envelopes with money.
Yep,
It's really
yep.
fun.
Me and my sister, my mom and my dad would actually have a Chinese New Year party at my sister's adoption group's house.
So when I was really young, we would celebrate the Lunar New Year in this giant function hall with a bunch of other Asian adoptees.
I also was a part of a Chinese dance group, so around this time we would usually perform in showcases. I celebrated a lot growing up because of that.
Like on the day that it started, we would usually, like my parents would give us red envelopes with money, and then we usually like ordered from the one Chinese restaurant in our town.
Yep.
And we'd order lo mein, like wonton soup, all those things, and we would give out, those red envelopes with like the dollar in it, and I was always really excited when someone would give that to me, because at the time I was like, oh my god, $1, like that's so much money.
But other than that, like we didn't really celebrate. And then when I got to high school, I don't even think we like ordered Chinese food or like got red envelopes.
I appreciated that we did celebrate it a little bit growing up, but then like as I grew up, stopped celebrating.
But we didn't do any of the like dumpling making stuff really, which I know that's like a big part of the New Year.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot these past few years about it, but it was not like a major part of my life growing up.
Right. How did you feel when Lunar New Year would come around every year, being that you are a Chinese adoptee?
I guess I sort of felt like an outsider almost because I felt like I didn't know anything. Not something that I always felt like I resonated with. And I always felt a little bit disconnected from the New Year.
Yeah, I think I didn't even think of it, honestly.
Interesting.
It's just kind of weird.
Growing up for me, when I went to those parties, I was there for the wonton soup and the like, for the most part I was aware, and it reminded me of my adoption, and it was nice to be in a community where I was in vivo with people who have my experience.
So I felt like almost sort of an imposter, I guess.
I didn't even know what I was missing.
It didn't register to me as something that was so culturally significant.
I didn't really understand what was going on.
I don't think as a kid I was really actively knowing about it.
I don't think that's something that I ever really tried to look into or discover for myself.
Like for me, I never thought about it that way, and that's why I said kind of like nowadays, when I think of Lunar New Year, I tie it much more strongly to being an adoptee.
But I think also growing up, I was always very detached from my Chinese side.
I lived in a very white area. Like, I was probably one out of maybe 5 or 6 Asians in my entire high school.
And where I'm at in my life, where am I at in terms of ready to explore that stage of my life, that piece of which is such an integral part of who I am.
How would you like Lunar New Year to be involved in your life, if at all, going forward?
Oh, I mean, I feel like that's part of the reason I moved to like the area that's just more diverse and bigger in the city.
I'm not entirely sure what I want it to look like 10 years down the road or something if I'm married or have kids.
No, I think it would be really nice. And I like to do it with friends. At some point, it would be great to actually have, I want to say, like a dumpling making celebration.
It would be nice to celebrate with an acknowledgement from my own family, like my white parents. Maybe we can celebrate together.
I have a friend who usually hosts Lunar New Year dinner for the past couple of years since college, which is really, it's so great. I love that. I mean, I was really stoked about the parade, and that was a no-go.
Yep. Next year. Fingers crossed.
Next year.
Maybe even getting a group of Asian Americans or other adoptees together during the Lunar New Year to celebrate would be super fun.
I mean, I think it's part of the bigger journey of discovering who I am, my identity, feeling okay and comfortable with the fact that I am Asian, I am Chinese, even though sometimes I don't feel it. I still feel like I'm not educated enough to like teach other people about it.
So really just like talking to my Asian or Asian American friends and seeing how they celebrate it.
This year I'm going to try to go to Chinatown and support the businesses there.
Trying to keep up with the dialogue of like calling it Lunar New Year and everything because multiple cultures celebrate it and not just Chinese cultures.
I guess in a way just like create my own types of traditions surrounding it.
It's a really good question, and it's making me think about ways that I want to implement celebrating the New Year, Lunar New Year in my life.
Right over there. There she is. You know, even as a little kid who knew little about Chinese culture, I always had a certain pride in being Chinese, in being Asian American. And when Lunar New Year would come around, I think that pride existed for that holiday as well. As much as I thought it was a day for us to celebrate, I also felt like it was a day that celebrated us.
You know who I am because I have my orange hat.
Exactly. I said I was looking for the orange hat. Happy Lunar New Year.
Happy New Year.
Like a few of my friends, I celebrated a little bit with a few other adoptees that were in my school. Truth be told, I don't really know much about Lunar New Year, and I kind of wish that I did. I think these conversations highlight the complex and sometimes awkward nature of being an adoptee. So how will I celebrate going forward? I'm not totally sure. I think coming from a place of appreciation and developing my own customs is something that really excites me. Here we are with all of the food. There's David, there's Nora, there's Robert, there's Ruby. Is it typical to have hot pot on the New Year? Oh, definitely.
Typical, yes.
All I know is that I'll continue to be celebrating, so. This video is not friendly to vegans, but
It's not vegan.
it's friendly in other ways.
With friends.
With friends. Happy Lunar New Year. Special thanks to my friends for participating in this video, and if anyone has any questions for me or for any of my adoptee friends, feel free to comment them below and I'll do my best to answer. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.